welcome to Lunch with Ledyard, the second show of the year here live from the campus of East Texas Baptist University in Meadows Hall. As today we've got a full schedule, talking men's basketball, men's basketball player Jordan Gosey, softball coach Janae Shirley, and then men's and women's tennis coach Jeff Bramlett with their seasons starting on Saturday and softball starting next week. But before we get to our coaches, we always love to go to Cline's Corner with KROCK and get some opinions and thoughts of him about ETBU and maybe even a little professional sports. So, Kenneth, KROCK Cline, how's your day going?
It's been going good, typical Wednesday morning, typical hump day, just trying to figure out how big my hump's going to be next time I appear in one of those commercials.
What's this? Why is this sitting right here next to you?
Well, I figured that it'd be nice good. I mean, it was either this or the ship that boat that was used to capture Jaws in the movie Jaws, and I figured this is a little more appropriate because it's a tiger, and we are the tigers here. Actually, Chase, being the wise cracker that he is, he found it.
Chase Burrow, our intern, found it in a box over there. It's kind of like a family tiger, a little sad tiger. But
well, it shouldn't be sad. You got to put a little smile on it because it's supposed to be a happy day.
So we've got a special thing in our show today for Kenneth, KROCK Cline.
Oh, you're too sweet.
KROCK, let's just jump right in. Men's basketball, 12-5, 4-5 ASC East. You got to travel with them last week. They split. Well, they fell at Texas Dallas and then came back to win in Ozarks by 15.
Well, that was just one of those games against Texas Dallas where it was kind of one of those where they really needed to win that game at home, and especially playing against UT Dallas, even though they weren't having the best of seasons. They're always a good team, and they kind of felt like they needed to win that game more. It was a close competition, but I think we just kind of ran out of gas there in the end, and unfortunately came up a little bit short. But, hard-fought game. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the job done, but kind of one of those where you kind of learn a lot about things.
And Ozarks, what do you think about that game?
Oh, as far as the Ozarks game, man, it was very close. And somehow, some way, something must have been said in the locker room because putting up 51 points and holding them down to 38, I thought it was going to be a close game all the way, but nope, took off, went off, and just scored a lot of points on them.
And that's a good thing. Women's basketball picked up their first win of the year. They fell to Texas Dallas, top team in the American Southwest Conference. Played them really strong for three quarters, and they bounced back and won in Ozarks on Saturday.
Yeah, the UT Dallas game, everyone knew that UT Dallas was the best team in the conference, and rightfully so. They didn't have their best player, but they still have a team that could compete, and I thought we did pretty well. Unfortunately, the third quarter kind of doomed us a bit, and that was ultimately the big difference, and the fourth quarter they just seemed to take off. And as far as the Ozarks game, I tell you what, it was one of those back-and-forth games. Got off to a slow start. We caught up. We took the lead. And I thought the girls were very excited because they never got into the lead that much, at least to start the second half. But, of course, Ozarks came back to make it a little interesting and came down to the last play of the game. And I'll tell you what, Coach Hamilton sure fooled a lot of people, including me.
Can you give us that call real quick with Jay Jeffries?
I don't remember calling it, but I might have said something like, Jay Jeffries for three, it's good! Holy narrow! I can't believe it! Jay Jeffries with a three! And I tell you, I was thinking, I'll be honest, I knew Hannah Holt wasn't in the game because she had fouled out. I was thinking it was either going to go to Amanda Wilson down low, or you had Caitlin Packett in the game as well. I thought you were going to give it to Wilson or Packett, or maybe Brittany Jones. Somehow Jay Jeffries found it, got open, and she just connected. And obviously 10 seconds left, so there's still a lot of time. But fortunately, their last shot rattled in and out, and we were able to hang on for the win. So I was very excited.
I want to say hello to KJ, Kelly Jo McClendon, joining in on Facebook Live. I always like seeing her face pop up there, former pitcher for ETBU softball. All right, these next three sports just now getting started. Tennis starts Saturday, coming off a nice fall season. Are you excited a little for tennis to start?
Oh, I'm excited, all right, especially for the women's team looking to take a ring, and especially for the men's team, as they also look to take a ring. So I definitely think the future of the program looks good, and I think tennis will definitely have some strong performances.
Yeah, Coach Bramlett looking to push to be, again, in the top tier, the American Southwest Conference this year. A lot of returners last year from the ASC tournament runner-up team from the women's side. Men's team also won a conference tournament match, first time ever in the program last year. So looking forward to this season with them. A lot of great players coming back, and he got some good newcomers to fit in well with them. Softball started practice last week. Reigning ASC champions. We'll have Coach Shirley in here in a little bit. But they open up also next week on Saturday here at home against Pacific. What do you think?
Oh, it's definitely going to be fun. Definitely going to be fun, especially for this softball team. You definitely have that feeling that this is going to be a very special season for them, particularly because they are the defending ASC champions, although UT Tyler would like to one-up us with their national championship. But, yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting. It's definitely going to be fun. Can't wait to call the games, and looking forward to more milestones and more wins.
Nettle Tinley on Periscope just joined us. Thanks for joining us here. And then one final thought. Baseball started practice this week on Monday. Field's looking great. Season starts also next weekend. So what's your thoughts on baseball?
More long balls. That's what I'm predicting. Other than that, I definitely think this team is definitely going to have a good season. They got a lot of returners coming back, and it's just definitely going to be exciting to call their games. So can't wait. And
ETBU fan vote of the week. No surprise here. Who do you think won?
I really wish we could have rigged the system to make it a little more fair. But last time I checked, Dylan Augustine, 24 points, career high, or not career high, but high of the season. I definitely think he was the guy that won.
75% fan vote to Dylan Augustine this week over Amanda Wilson and Jay Jeffries. So congratulations to Dylan Augustine again for winning this. I think it's his second or third time that he's won. He's got a great fan group out there, his family and friends that vote for him when we put him up for it. So it's always good to see that and the participation out there with our fans and friends. So congratulations, Dylan. You win again. So, okay, one last question. Super Bowl, Atlanta, New England.
Well, I will say this. Dan Shaughnessy, who's a writer for the Boston column or Boston Globe in the newspaper, he basically kind of ripped into Atlanta, saying that they have no fan support over there. And there's a part of me that feels like I want to go with Atlanta just to, shut him up in a way. But, I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I think the misfortune for every team, including the Texans and everybody, is that we were playing in an era with arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. And I think Tom Brady, love him or hate him, he's going to do it again. So I'm going to go with New England in this one.
All right, I'm just going to vote for a fun Super Bowl because I'm not a fan of either team. So it'll just be fun to watch some football. The last game of the year since my Packers aren't in it.
Hey, it's not a fun Super Bowl if your team's not in it. And we're hosting it this year in Houston. So
well, we just need to start calling it the New England Super Bowl.
Well. Hey, they called it the Alabama National Championship. They called it the Carolina Super Bowl last year. They called it Golden State's NBA Finals last year. They probably were getting close to calling it the Cleveland Indians World Series last year, so you never know.
Well, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks because they got this Sunday off, which means there's no football on television, which means there's not going to be a whole lot on television this weekend.
Well, except the Pro Bowl, but that's...
Yeah.
That's
just always exciting.
It's not fun if JJ's not in it, so...
All right, KROCK, thanks for talking to us this week. We're going to move on to men's basketball.